of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Gindula. Something shake Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Chanju Bardo Dani Kyapsu Che Dage Shinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjir Sanje Dubare Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Chanju Bardo Dani Kyapsu Che Dage Shinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Benjir Sanje Dubare Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Chonamla Chanju Bardo Dani Kyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjir Sanje Dubara Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the grace here. Okay, this morning we left with the question as to where exists what we saw as a flower, and when we go into the atomic level, we see that the flower has appeared. So the flower which we undeniably saw earlier, where is this flower? This is my question. So anyone? Yes.
I think there is substance that's existing there, and my mind is merely designating some of that substance as the flower, and that substance is arising based on the first two levels of the feminine origination, and the third is happening.
Okay, my question is, you're explaining me the process. This is so good. My question is, where is this flower? Earlier you saw the flower here, but now you end up seeing just a pool of atoms. You don't see the flower anymore. So where was that flower which undeniably you saw before? Where is it? Okay, I see.
The newly designated aspect of the flower is in my mind.
Okay, the flower is in your mind. Himani is saying same, and you are saying that you explain the process, and the flower that you undeniably saw before is in your mind. So this is what the Simran you also say. Okay, anyone else who would like to say where is that flower? Okay, how many of you, me as Chelsea?
The flower is still in your hands, but when you see the atoms, you're looking from a different perspective.
So no, I'm asking you. Where was that flower which you saw earlier? Now you are seeing just a pool of atoms. You don't see the flower.
So the flower I saw earlier from a different perspective. So you're doing the ultimate analysis.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay, how many of you felt a little uneasy inside? that you cannot give the answer satisfactorily. Raise hands. Little uneasy. Min. I don't see your hand. Okay. Yes. William. William, you already have the answer. Yes. Okay. So the Loan. No, what I'm saying is that, oh, where's the flower? No, I don't see that. Earlier I saw that. Where is that? So uneasiness comes. If that comes, it's very precious. It's very precious. So this will, because you don't want to be in the uneasy state, so you'll continue to explore. Your mind will continue to explore. And gradually you'll come to know that it's purely coming from your mind. At the moment, our mind is so addicted to seeing things as objectively real. Now this uneasiness comes, this is like a clash between my question and your early belief that the flower should exist objectively. So there's a clash there. This clash is seen in the form of friction. Mental uneasiness is there. Okay, in a way this is very precious, but for some people, it can go, this clash can be too deep that the uneasiness is extremely intense. And this may happen for people, I don't know, 1 out of 100,000 people. So don't worry. You'll not fall in this category. So where you can go into deep depression and so forth. No. So the thing is that if this happens and uneasiness comes, it's very good. It's a clash between your earlier thinking and your new way of thinking. So new way of thinking, you see that there's new way of thinking you cannot deny, reject. And the old way of thinking, you're so used to that, you don't want to let go of this. So there's a clash there. And then you study more, contemplate more, meditate more, gradually the shift will happen. Shift from the belief that things exist objectively to the belief that things exist subjectively. This shift will happen. Okay, it'll take time. It'll take time, yet this is the most important thing in the world for us to do, for your own well-being. And then later on, if you're able to really manifest it and see that it helps transform your, so as we said this morning, that cognitive shift, that is the one which is responsible in bringing about a shift in your emotional world. In other words, what your emotional world is determined by your cognitive thinking. So cognitively, when there's erroneous, then the emotionally, say the fear, anxiety, stress, all are created. Okay, so with this, let me ask you one question. Okay, simply put, let's say the water. I don't know what happened to our gentleman. He disappeared. Okay, so let's say the water. The water. If I ask, okay, this is not transparent. If there's a transparent thing, then we'll say, what is this? What would you say? A glass of water. It's fine. Okay, so you say it's water, it's water. Then if I ask the same question to the chemist, they will say this is H2O. And if I ask the same question to the physicists, particle physicists, they will say this is electrons, protons, neutrons. Okay, now tell me who's correct. There are 3 different answers coming up. Which of the 3 answers is correct? Huh?
All of them are part answers.
All of them are part answers, meaning?
It's like the elephant fallacy, like 4 people are touching.
Well, this is not my question is, who is correct? Correct or not correct?
All of them.
Or just say all correct. Okay, good. All are correct. But you see that emotional reaction to the object, how you perceive is very different. When you're thirsty, you see as a water, you feel like drinking. If you see as a H2O, I don't know what that is like. Maybe molecule, that's fine. But if you see as electrons, protons, neutrons, you don't feel like drinking. You agree? So emotionally, there's a difference happening based on cognitively how you perceive the object. So with this in mind, So what Gaurang is saying is that all three are correct. How many agree with Gaurang? Oh, you're good. And if all are correct, then there should be, but the three are different perceptions. Three different perceptions. So there should be three things here. Two different things should be there. But it's only one. You're getting it? It's only one. And so if everything is, and where is this? Water, H2O, electrons, protons, neutrons, where are they? In this mug or outside the mug? All in the mug. So then why, if there is only one thing, why it appears three different ways? Anyone? Why it appears in the same object appears in three different ways? Why? Huh? Okay, it's how you perceive, but three different perceptions are there, right? A perception is purely subjective, purely subject. Perceptions means the subject. Perception takes place in your mind. So this is purely your subjective. If it is subjective, then the question is that then you are not talking about the object here. You are talking about what appears to your mind. You are not talking about the object. I ask, what is this? And you are talking about what appears to your mind. Okay. Now let's say that let's say that. Okay, we talk about two truths. What is two truths? Conventional truth and ultimate truth. Okay, two truths. So, on the first, don't worry too much. What is two truth? Okay, let's say that you want to employ somebody. You want to employ somebody, but you don't know. And the employee must be extremely reliable. He or she should be extremely reliable, and you need to get information about that person, how reliable the person is. So there are two sources of information. One is one person who knows that person India in Thosamling for 7 days. Whereas there's another person who knows about that person for the last 20 years. Your schoolmate, classmate. Okay, which of the two person can give you more reliable information? Person A, who has been just with that person for 7 days. Another person who knows the person for the last 20 years. So person A and person B. Person A just for short term, person B for 20 years. So from whom you would like to take the information? And you know that person A and B both are very, very trustworthy. Chelsea? Person B. How many agree with person B? Okay. Person B. So let's say that, okay, Chelsea, why? And he knows the person more closely, right? He knows the person more closely. Closely means, what is meant by ultimate? Ultimate means, or ultimate, independent. So objective, they all mean the same, ultimate, independent, objective. More closely means more closely to the object. More closely to the object. He knows the person more closely. Person is the object. More closely. So therefore, say of these different perceptions, two perceptions, the person who knows the Mr. A more closely for 20 years, what he said, what she said would be more reliable in comparison with the person A who tells about your employee, who knows that employee for just 7 days. So one is more superficial, not so reliable information, and the other one is very reliable information. So likewise, our perception, there are two kinds of perception. Perception means which is more reliable and which is less reliable. And we said that with the same mug, with the same water, there are different perceptions, seeing this as water, seeing this as H2O, seeing this as electrons, protons, neutrons. Of these three perceptions, which do you think is most reliable? Reliable meaning, which do you think is closest to the object? Anyone? Okay, say the photographs usually, I tell the Tibetan staff, IT staff, that don't try to manipulate the photographs. So people manipulate photographs, they do what? Filter, and then what else? Pull, chrome, this. I said, don't do that. Keep it original. Keep it original. Right? So that when the originality is lost, finished, then this is not a real photograph. So one is that the information-wise, say the perceptions, all the perceptions, we see that the person who knows the person for 20 years, that the information is very, reflects the reality more closely, closer to the object. Closer to object. This is known as objective, ultimate. Okay. So therefore we see that there are two kinds of perceptions. One perception which is from distance, another perception which is close by. Okay, which of the two perceptions is more reliable? Perception, one perception which is distance, one close by. Which is more reliable? Close by, yes. Okay. So overall speaking, let's say that we see that from two of them, what they said is that what we are seeing is just a perception. Perception purely subjective. A perception, there are two kinds. One close by perception and the other one is from distance. Close by perception, we call it, what Chelsea said, close by perception, we call it ultimate analysis. From distance, we call it conventional analysis. You're getting it? Okay, let me repeat it. Say the same object can be seen by different people. Different perceptions. For example, waves on the ocean. Waves on the ocean can be seen very closely by going there to the ocean. One you can see from the aeroplane down. Do you see difference? What's the difference? Is there anybody who can tell me the difference between how you see the wave through by being close to the ocean and by from distance from the aeroplane down? What do you see? What difference do you see? Okay. Anyone?
2D, just one image. In real, I can see it in form, like 3D, closer.
Okay, 2D, 3D. This is a good way of presentation. Good. Anyone else?
Sound of the waves, you will not be able to listen to the sound of the waves. If I'm playing, you cannot listen to the sound of the waves.
Okay, I agree. Anything else? Most likely a very observant person can tell this distinction. Okay, 2D, 3D is the architectural talk. Okay, and then the word sound, no sound is the calligraphy talk. The aesthetics.
Many more details, like even the bubbles.
Okay, I don't know whether you've really seen that. You've really seen that? Okay. Anyone? Gaurang?
From the airplane, you see a top view, flat.
This is 2D. And listen to architect, and there's a better word. Yes.
From far, we can have the kind of emotion when we usually see waves. Like we can have things like, oh, it's scary or something like that. It can be dangerous to see the waves like that, very far from the plane. And when you are very close, it just...
You have not noticed that. From the plane, how you describe it's the opposite. You have not noticed that. Okay, Bhumikaji.
Keshila, from the plane, we don't see the motion of the waves. Everything, the ocean looks flat. We don't see the waves. We don't perceive the waves.
We see the waves.
We see the waves.
We see the waves. But we don't identify that as wave. We just see like a white line. It's not a white line, it's a wave actually. You have not noticed that. You just imagine. Are you a creative person? You have just imagined. Gaurang, what do you notice?
During, like, when we're moving through flight, we are relatively moving when we're looking at the waves from above. We are moving as well. That's a very different view as compared.
Okay, good. The thing is that from the top you just see white lines. It's not a white line. You go close, there's a movement there. So from the waves you notice, generally speaking, the waves they move from the center to the outside, like these, like these, like these. So close by you see the gap in time. From distance you don't see the gap in time. It's just like a flat line, white line. And first when I saw that, I thought, what is that? What is these white lines? Later on I discovered that these are the waves. They move, they come, sometimes they come like the clouds. They are in particular shape. After a few minutes you look at it, again it's a different shape. You're getting it? So it's like a static shape. It's not static. Cloud, they're moving. But from below we see it's not moving like a static. Few seconds later you look at it, same thing. It's very different. Okay, so what I'm saying is that which is closer to the reality of the wave? The wave as you see nearby sitting at the beach and you see the wave, or from the aeroplane you see just white line. Which reflects the more reality of the wave? Closer. So what you see the object through close inspection is known as that that mind which sees through close inspection is known as ultimate analysis, and the mind which looks at the same object, which sees the same object from distance, is known as conventional analysis. Okay, so in a loose sense, now given that our mind can all be classified into two, conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Having said this, now from there we can deduce that object as seen by the conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. Object as seen by the ultimate analysis known as ultimate truth. You're getting it? So for example, with this flower, from distance we see the flower, from close by we see the atoms, pool of atoms. Okay. Now my question is, what do you see? A flower. With respect to the flower, this is very important. With respect to the flower, tell me you see or you don't see, or it exists or don't exist. Okay, imagine that group A and group B. Let's say this is group A and it's group B. Group A you look at through your naked eyes. What is this? Hey, Mitri. What is this? Flower. Very good. Okay, maybe you confused. It's already a flower. Why he's asking it? Right. Okay. So this is a flower. This flower. Group B. Imagine that you're looking at it through electron microscope, and I ask you, and you're seeing just pool of atoms. Where's the flower? No flower. Okay, no flower. No flower meaning absence of flower, emptiness of flower. And group A, you are looking through electron microscope. So what do you? So your perception and their perception. Okay, sorry, this is group B. A, group B. Group B, your perception is ultimate analysis. Group A, your perception is conventional analysis. So now look, see. Group B, your perception is ultimate analysis. What you see should be? Okay, your subject is the ultimate analysis. The object that you are seeing should be ultimate truth. And for group A, the subject that you're using is conventional analysis, and the object that you're seeing is conventional truth. In other words, okay, first let me take step by step. Say, same object can be seen in different ways. For example, like the flower, the cells, chromosomes, DNA molecules, atoms, and so forth. And in other words, so while there are different ways of perceiving the same object, what we said is that all these different perceptions can be classified into two. And you said all are correct. Yes, all are correct. Why they are different? Because they differ in ways of being ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Perception is different. So we see that the one which sees the object most closely is known as ultimate analysis. One who sees the object from distance is known as Conventional analysis. How many understood this? Raise hands. Very good. Okay, Tim, what's your question?
Is this kind of framework meant to be a loose framework or hold for sort of all phenomena? So if you think about the Earth, when we used to be very just close to the Earth, we used to think the Earth was flat, and then we got very far away from the Earth with satellites, and then we saw actually it's definitely round, and that changed our perception. And we had I would say, a more ultimate view of how the Earth is compared to when we were only able to be very close to the Earth.
Okay, so how many understood what Tim is asking? Raise hands. Very good. Okay, what is your answer? So just see if there's someone who can give the answer to Tim's question based on what we have learned thus far. Anybody who likes to give the answer? So with respect to the Earth, when you are too close to the Earth, you see it as flat. From distance, from moon. From there, you look at Earth. Who's that astronaut who went to the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, he saw the planet Earth as a very beautiful blue planet, not green planet. Blue planet. Round, not flat. Spherical, actually, not round, spherical. Not flat. So, which is correct? Flat is correct or the round is correct? Hey. Round is correct. Which perception is wrong? And you said all perceptions are correct. And now, according to Tim, you are saying that what are you saying is wrong? Okay. So, because we don't have much time, I'd like to jump to this directly. I would say that at the moment, we say that we are seeing the Earth. I'm not seeing the Earth. Earth there too. The whole globe is Earth, and the Earth, which made of dust and so that is Earth. We are seeing the Earth in that sense, not in the globe. You're getting it? So that Earth that we are seeing now, that is sort of flat. It's not 100. Sometimes it's like Mount Everest, too high and down. Sometimes like this. Sometimes like this, different kinds. So here, this is flat. If the architects or the laborers, they worked it precisely. Some architects, they give the flat design, and the laborers, they make it curved like this. This Tibetan experience. I have the experience. So, therefore, what we are seeing is the flat. This is not the globe. This is not a globe. The globe is spherical. This is not spherical. Even when you look at from the top, in the first place, you will not see this tiny spot. From moon, you will not see this tiny spot. It's too small that it disappears. So, there's no contradiction there. All perceptions are correct. You're getting it? Good. So, what we learned is that our perceptions, different perceptions take place with respect to same object. How many agree with me, raise hands? With the same object, there are different perceptions. And these different perceptions, they differ. They differ is purely subjective. So what we do is that on the safe side, we said that all these perceptions are valid, correct? We divide them into two. There are those perceptions which you see the object very close by. These are known as ultimate analysis. And those perceptions which see the object from distance is known as conventional analysis. And you must be observant. You must be observant. I'm not forcing you. I'm encouraging you. Because, these are many things I observed when I was on the airplane down. I see that some tiny white lines are happening, and then within 2-3 seconds, it disappears. And another white lines disappears. Later on, when I was in Singapore, from there, we're going to the ocean. We see that actually these are the waves. They come, disappear, these are the waves. From distance, you see this white line. So be observant. So from there, you will be startled to see that there is a discrepancy between the appearance and the reality. Appearance, things appear in one way, in reality is very different. Okay, so with this in mind, what we said is that all the perceptions can be classified into two, conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Okay, how many understood this with hands? How many understood this? Good. The next, Because that there are two perceptions. Perceptions means you perceive an object, right? So the object as seen by the conventional analysis is known as conventional truth, and the object is seen by the ultimate analysis known as ultimate truth. Okay, now going back to the flower. Say group A, through your naked eyes, what do you see? You see a flower. So your eyes are conventional analysis, ultimate analysis, group A. Conventional analysis. So what you see is a conventional truth. What do you see? You see a flower. So flower is conventional truth. Now I ask the group B. Your perception is? Himani? Your perception is? Ultimate analysis. Don't say ultimate. I give you full, give me full. I give you ultimate analysis and don't give me half, ultimate. Say, what is your perception?
Ultimate.
It becomes worse. What's your perception? Very good, thank you. Okay, so your perception, ultimate analysis, I'm talking about the flower or not flower. I'm not talking about the atoms and so forth. Okay, what is the flower? It exists, not exists? Hey, group B. It doesn't exist. You're getting it? Are you exaggerating or you're discovering it? You are discovering it, which means that this is a reality, that you are seeing it. So the absence of the flower, okay. So they are seeing there's no flower. Flower is absent or not in my hand? Hey, group A. It's not absent, but they're saying there's absent. For them it's absent, for you it's not absent. You're getting it? So this is very important. Now, whether they are looking at the flower closely or from distance. Hey, group B. Closely. You're getting it? Closely means objectively. Objectively, the flower is empty. And group A, you see this flower from where? From distance or from close by? From distance. Because it is from distance, it's not objectively, not from the object. It's from the subject. So this is known as conventional truth. So, group B, you see absence of flower with respect to ultimate analysis. You're getting it? So, whether the flower exists or not, okay, this is a very important statement that I'm making. Whether the flower exists or not is decided by the conventional analysis, not by the ultimate analysis. What does the ultimate analysis decide? It decides whether the flower exists objectively or not. You're getting it? So when the group B says no flower, means no objective flower, no objectively existing flower. You're getting it? This is a very important statement. Group B, so the flower exists or not, who decides? Conventional analysis decides or ultimate analysis decides? Conventional analysis decides, group A decides. You're getting it? The flower exists objectively or not, who decides?
Ultimate analysis.
Okay. How many you like momos, raisins? Okay, Jack, what do you like? Momos?
Good momos.
Good momos. How many like good momos? Okay. Do you agree with me? And good momos really exist or not exist? They exist or not exist? You taste it? Yes. So it exists. So therefore, if you go too close to the good momos will disappear. You agree or not? Huh?
Gotta have proper relationship.
No, okay, it disappears. Don't make it very complicated. It disappears. You're getting it? If you want to enjoy the good momos, don't go too close. Keep distance and enjoy it. This is, so therefore, good momos exist. So exist with respect to what? Conventional analysis, ultimate analysis. Jack? Very good. You're getting it? So good momos exist in the eyes of the conventional analysis, not the ultimate analysis. So good momos exist or not exist is decided by the conventional analysis, not by the ultimate analysis. And what does ultimate analysis decide? If the good momos exist objectively or not. You're getting it? So simply because the ultimate analysis says good momos don't exist, does not mean that good moment doesn't exist. They mean They do not exist objectively. You're getting it? Okay. So with this, now we are coming to a good understanding. Okay. So group A, what is this? Flower. Group B, what is this? No flower. No flower means? Hey, group B, what happened? Kate? Absence of objective flower. You're getting it? She's about to say this and somebody said absence of flower and then she stopped. Okay, absence of objective flower. You're getting it? So therefore, say the same object can be seen in two different ways. One say there's a flower, one say there's no flower. You're getting it? So, one say, so the Heart Sutra, which we recited morning, we recited? Yeah. Okay. Heart Sutra, okay, open up the Heart Sutra. Lohena, open that Heart Sutra and show me the section on form is empty. Emptiness form. Let them do it. Again, let them do it so that Jack is so kind. Don't be too kind. Let them work. If the parents being so kind, children will never learn. Okay. Okay, did you find it? Maitre, did you find it? Where is it? Which page? 29. Form is empty. Okay, can you read it for us?
Form is empty.
Yes? Done? There are 4 lines. Your Sahar said it's only 1 line. Okay, that's amazing. Yes, form is empty.
Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than.
Very good. Okay, now look, this is very important. Okay, now we see that. Okay, before I explain this, I like to say that, okay, look at somebody who is next to you. Look at somebody who is next to you. Mean, you're looking at somebody to whom? And she's not looking at it, she's just pointing like this. Okay. Okay, now tell me. I see that, okay, now again, look at the other person. Very quick. Okay, everybody's smiling. Okay. Don't forget that you are smiling. Now, close your eyes. Think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person who made you smile. Okay, I'm glad that nobody's smiling now. If you smile now, it's the time for you to go to mental hospital. Right? Well, my question to you, why in the first case you smiled? Invariably you smile. While in the second case you did not smile. Why? Anyone? Yes.
I just looked at her, but when you said close your eyes, I analyzed what she did.
I did not ask you to analyze. Himani, you are not serious. I asked you to just think of the same person who made you smile. I did not ask you to analyze. Don't analyze. You saw the person's atoms? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So, why did you not smile in the second case? What made you smile in the first case?
Interaction. Like in the first case, you're interacting with a person. But in the second, there's just an image.
Oh, okay. How many agree with this? So in the first case, there's the interaction, meaning object-subject interaction is there. You see the other person is object real. In the second case, you know that it's purely your imagination, purely subjective. So when you see that it's purely subjective, your emotions are under control. You're getting it? When you see it's object real, then it involuntarily stirs your emotion. Involuntarily you smiled. This is loss of freedom. You don't have freedom, not to smile. Right? Loss of freedom. So therefore, when you see things object real, then involuntary emotions are stirred, like including smile. It's a very simple exercise. Where you see the other things, just say your subjective projection, your emotion comes under your control. Okay, this is very important. So with this mind, now tell me, pick up something that you have and show that to me. Pick up something and show that to me. Okay, now look at it yourself. Don't just show it to me, look at it yourself. And how does the object appear to you? Objectively real or subjectively real? Tim? How does it appear to you? I'm not asking how does it exist. How does it exist is different. I ask you how does it appear to you? Objective. Okay. Hirosha? Object real. Oh, okay. To how many use the object appears object real? Raise hands. Yes. And when do things appear object real? When? In the mornings or afternoon? Huh? All times. Oh, okay. During the daytime or the nighttime when you sleep? 24/7 this happens. So this is where our mind is affected by the ignorance 24/7. And not only this life, previous, this is how we are being influenced by the self-grasp. This is ignorance, self-grasp ignorance. In reality, nothing exists objectively. Now what we are saying is that when you see the flower as object real, your emotions, you lose control over your emotions. When you see the flower as subjectively real, empty of reality, your emotions are under control. You're getting it? Okay. Now, the thing is that the flower exists or not? Flower exists or not? Yes, because we talked about the two entrances, the two gates that you have to pass. What is the first gate? Do things exist? What is the answer? Yes, things exist. Flower exists, everything exists. Okay. So now, both the flower exists, but how the flower exists? What is the second question? Do things exist objectively? What is the answer? No. We said no, but when you look at it, it appears objectively real. Getting it? So when things appear objectively, that is the problem. That is what creates problem to us. So now, we see that things do exist. How does it exist? It exists subjectively. We don't see it subjectively, but it exists subjectively. Okay, now with this in mind, the benefit, let's see, that when you see things as empty, objectively empty, and subjectively existent by dependent origination, emptiness equals? Dependent origination. Dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way. Okay, we already studied that. With this in mind, say the benefit of seeing the emptiness. Say the emptiness and dependent origination. These are two sides of the same coin. And how many of you have used T-strainer? T-strainer. And how many don't know what is T-strainer? Raise hands. How many don't know what is T-strainer? How many of you have never used T-strainer? Raise hands. Luana, you don't know T-strainer? You used? You know what it is, but have you used it? Young people, they have never used that. They always use a tea bag. You use tea bag? Or no tea strainer? Yes, this is my correct guess. Jack, you used?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Tea bag all the time?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now if you know what is the raise hands who know, it's not necessary that you have to use it. If you know what a T-strainer is, raise hands. Okay. Is there anybody who can explain what T-strainer is? That's not an expert. What does a T-strainer do?
T-strainer is used to strain the tea leaves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what Dasana is saying, T-strainer, what it does is that it separates the drinkable tea and the tea leaves, residual tea leaves. It separates the two. You agree with Thosamling Lowry's hands? Good. So what it does is it stops the non-drinkable residual tea leaves and it freely let flow the drinkable tea. You're getting it? This is the job of the tea strainer. So likewise, the wisdom of emptiness, the job of the wisdom of emptiness is like a tea strainer, that it blocks all the destructive emotions. It stops all the destructive emotions like fear, anxiety, anger, attachment, jealousy, craving, so forth, and it freely let flow the virtuous minds. It freely let flow and expand the virtuous mind. Well, this is the job of the wisdom of emptiness. And how does it work? It works because emptiness. There are two sides. What two sides? One is emptiness, and the other side is dependent origination. When you see emptiness, it blocks all the undesirable emotions. You see dependent origination, it allows all the virtues to grow. This is a benefit. Okay, now let me say this once more. Say, how does this wisdom of emptiness work to serve like a tea strainer? Is that the object that it sees, dependent on emptiness, it has two sides. One side is emptiness, other side is dependent origination. Seeing emptiness, it stops all your destructive emotions, the pains, the fear, and so forth. And seeing dependent origination, it allows your virtues to grow freely. It allows your virtues to grow freely. For example, it says that Arya Nagarjuna very clearly indicated that if you see emptiness, your compassion invariably increases. What is the opposite of compassion? What is the opposite of compassion? Anyone? Anger, ego, aversion, jealousy, and so forth. These are the opposites of compassion. When you see, all these destructive emotions, the foundation of all the destructive emotions is self-grasping ignorance. When you see emptiness, self-grasping ignorance is shattered, because of which all the destructive emotions are shattered. So your anger, ego, they're all shattered. When the anger, ego, they are shattered, it leaves room for compassion to grow. That's why compassion not growing is because anger and aversion, ego, they push others away from you. So now the factor to push others away from you, when these are gone, then you can readily embrace others with compassion. This is how compassion automatically grows. But for what is known as a great compassion, there are two kinds: compassion in general and a great compassion. For the great compassion, it will not arise automatically just by the wisdom of emptiness. You have to cultivate it separately. So for the Shravakas and Pradik Buddhas, they generate compassion, but they don't generate great compassion because they don't cultivate it separately. So Bodhisattvas, they cultivate it separately, the great compassion. Okay, good. So now going back, okay, Maitri, you will read the 4 lines which you read. What's the first one? Form is empty. Okay, now let's see group A and group B. Hey, which is group B? Which is group A? Group A, where is group A? Okay, this is group A, this is group B. Okay, let's say okay, what's the first line? Maitri. Form is empty. Okay, pay attention. This is very important. We are reciting Heart Sutra every morning. Now, the meaning of this verse, these 4 lines will make sense now. The first line is, form is empty. Okay, let's say, physical form like the flower, group A sees as flower form, is group B sees as emptiness. You got a form is empty. It's the same object. You getting it? What's the second line? Emptiness is form. What group B sees as emptiness, empty of flower, is what group A sees as flower form. So, form is empty, emptiness is form. Good. What is third one?
Emptiness is not other.
What group B sees as emptiness is not different from what group A sees as form. Same nature. It's the same object. Same object seen in two different ways. What's the last line?
Form is not.
Form is also not. Also is there. Yes, you miss it. Okay. Form is also not other than emptiness. What group B sees as emptiness is not different from what group A sees as because this is the same object. I ask group B, what is this? Emptiness of form, emptiness of flower. I ask group A, what is this? You say, this is a flower. So what group B sees as empty, what group A sees as a form. What group A sees as a form is also what group B sees as emptiness. You getting it? So these two are not two different objects, it's the same object, it's seen in two different ways. You're getting seen in two different ways. But this, what's the benefit? Form is empty. When you see that, the flower is empty objectively. But the flower is seen empty objectively means your emotions related to the involuntary emotions related to the flower all stop. Then emptiness is form. So if things are empty, objectively empty, then how does it exist? Hey, if objectively it is empty, then how does it exist? It exists subjectively, it exists dependently. So although objectively it is empty, subjectively it is a form. So subjective to form meaning dependent origination. Dependently it is a form, but dependent on the impure mind, it is a form. So seeing that it is dependent originated, okay, dependence on my being compassionate towards others, my happiness expands. So you understand dependent origination. There, you practice compassion. Because with compassion you get happiness. You are seeking happiness. And you stop harming others. Why? By dependence on harming others, I get the miseries. I don't want miseries. Also, so understand dependent origination. Other side, you stop the harmful actions and you adopt compassionate actions. So that is through the understanding of dependent origination or the dependent origination, conventional truth. And seeing the emptiness, it stops all the destructive emotions. Okay, for example, how many agree with me that when you are in your workplace, you have some conflicts with some colleagues, and every day you meet, it's so suffocating. Yes, very suffocating. And suddenly you said, okay, so I want to take a few days off, and then you check where can you go, and you ask, Omar. So Omar, what should I do? I'm so suffocated. What should I do? Hey, there's a retreat happening in Thosamling, come. Right? Where is that? It is in Dharamsala. I live in Delhi. Come. Oh, wonderful, that's a good idea, right? Because I can cognitively stay away from that person in the workplace, which is very complicated. So cognitively, my mind will be away, empty of that person in my mind. You're getting empty. So, in Thosamling, for 7 days I'll be relaxed. I'll have a relaxation. Okay. And how do you call that person? Complicated person, difficult person? Difficult person. So difficult person also was look at the tired of you. Not you are tired of that person. That person also tired of you, wanting to run away from you. And then they asked the Mitri, hey Mitri, what should I do? Right? Mitri said, hey, there's a retreat happening. Right? Where? Thosamling. And person said, oh, I'll be free from Jack. Right? Okay. So that person comes here, very beautiful, green everywhere, so beautiful, raining, drizzling, so beautiful, amazing, sunshine, so peaceful, amazing. So the person comes into I'll go into meditation in the Kumbha. And Jack also comes. Jack also was coming to meditate. The two of you meet. What happens? Instantly that peace of mind disappears. Mental disturbance happens. Because the empty of that person, temporary empty of that person is filled, person comes back. So when you see that the flower of the difficult person, the object of cheesecake, whatever, when you see that it's not there, instantly your mind relaxes. That's the emptiness. Aditi, what is the mind? Ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Ultimate analysis of the cheesecake. Yes. So they instantly, believe it or not, instantly the mind eases. You're getting it? The mind eases. Then, okay, although the cheesecake is not objective, it eases your mind. Then you shift from the ultimate analysis to the conventional analysis. Then how does the cheesecake exist? Hey, if it is empty from objective is empty, how does it exist? It is a subjectively, which means that it's dependent, not independent. So it is there. So therefore, by depends on this, if I overeat it, then I can become fat, I should not eat it. So the attachment to it is dissolved by the ultimate analysis. With the conventional analysis, you come to see that it has the benefits. Cheesecake has so much of protein, fats. These are very good. It's not everything's bad. There are good things there. So with this, if I eat it in a proper proportion, it's very healthy. If I eat it in the wrong way, it is unhealthy, depending on the origination. You understand it? Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, so now the next is, now how do we know? How do we know that the cheesecake is empty of objective reality, or the person you feel so close to, so affectionate, so loving, also attached to, this is also empty? How do we know that? How do we know that? This is one thing, and likewise yourself. Some people, we can be so narcissistic. So we can be so attached to the self. So they also, how to see yourself, that, say, the obsession to self, again, is a big problem. So that creates the tension in your mind. And how do you know that? Once you get a glimpse of emptiness, instant, you don't have to tell your mind that, hey, don't be too selfish, you don't have to force yourself. Just see the emptiness of the self. You get a glimpse of this, instantly just observe how the mind behaves. For example, like a child, put a cheesecake close by or chocolate close by, and just observe how the child behaves. Your mind is like a child. When you see that the cheesecake is empty, just see how the mind behaves, instantly mind relaxes. You're getting it? Instantly your mind, you may think that, oh, if I see if this cheesecake is empty, then my life will be very boring. Right? If I see cheesecake is like empty, then my life will be so boring. Okay, there was like almost 40, 50 years ago when Buddhism first traveled to the West. So the Westerners, they started to take interest in Buddhism. And here in Dharamsala, there was one great teacher, and he was talking about enlightenment, Buddhahood, and so forth. And then we should cultivate the aspiration to become Buddha for the Venerable. And one lady stood up and said, "Sir, I don't want to become enlightened. I don't want to become Buddha." And the teacher was amazed. Why not? And she said, in those days, 1960s, in those days, television just came out. Commercial, what do you call it? Public television. It just came out, and for us, no television in the school. Television just came out. Now everybody's at television, the gadget, everything has. But in those days, no. Television just came out, and television was incredibly great. Just what is happening today. Almost everybody is after the gadgets. So like this, in those days, no individual television, but some richer family they have. And this was the biggest of the amusement for the entertainment for the people. So this lady said that if I become Buddha, I cannot watch television. You're getting it? So this is misconception. So likewise, if I see emptiness of cheesecake, then my interest in cheesecake will disappear. I will have no fun with the cheesecake. No, that's not true. The thing is that, in fact, finally, why do you want the fun? Tell me, why do you want the fun? With the cheesecake was there, I feel happy. And to think of even to get a cheesecake, there's so much of fun in me. So what's there with the fun? What? You, at the most fun, your answer is that I'll be happy. The real happiness that too, that you get out of external factors and that you retrieve from within. Or you get from external factors, you are dependent on that. When the cheesecake is there, you get the happiness. When the cheesecake is not there, you don't get happiness. You become sad. And you get cheesecake and a cat comes and topple it, you become angry. Whereas the happiness inside, that the cats cannot topple it. Nobody can steal it. It's always with you. And the degree to which the happiness, joy that you get out of the internal treasure, with the cheesecake, if the unit is one, the joy that you get if you retrieve from inside is multiplied by infinity. This is amazing. Whatever joy that you can think of. If you get it from outside, there's so much of side effects, so much of problems. So without a house, there's a problem. With a house, you have to maintain it. It's a big work. It's a huge work. So with anything that you depend on external for the happiness, there's always a lot of problem. Whereas what's inside, and then it's not cost effective. It's not cost effective. Is anybody from the corporate world? Chelsea? Not from corporate world. Cost effective, right? It's not cost effective. You invest so much and finally the joy that you get too small. So many complications in between. So many complications. Whereas the joy that you retrieve from inside, if you retrieve from inside, so the joy that we get from outside, just multiply that by 1,000 times is what you get. Okay, so with this mind, the next is, okay, if that is the case, that would be wonderful. I want to see the emptiness. So how to get there? How to get there? This is a question. So with this in mind, so we have to establish emptiness. For this, I like to say there are many reasons employed. I'm going to give one set of the reason to establish emptiness. Okay, so that is known as so today we're going to do this, and from tomorrow we'll have to go through the text. Once the emptiness, we get some idea of what emptiness is, then our job is to go to the text, the debate between self-grasping ignorance and the wisdom of emptiness. So the reason that we're going to use is known as the reasoning or the four essentials, the reasoning of the four essentials to establish emptiness. Okay, this reasoning is known as the reasoning of the four essentials to establish emptiness. In the group discussion, I would really request the seniors to make sure that instead of you coming up with very complicated questions, I would request you to help the newcomers to explain these four essentials well. Okay, what are the four essentials? Number one, essential of identifying the object of negation. Essential of identifying the object of negation. Essential of identifying the object of negation. Number two, essential of understanding the perversion. Essential understanding the perversion. Okay, this Damdul is a little confused. I know, deliberately I made her confused. Okay, she's confused. I'll let you know later. Second one is the essential of understanding the perversion. Number three, essential of understanding the emptiness of objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Let me repeat it. Essential of understanding the objects being, what is that? What did I say? Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects. Essential of understanding, number three, essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Okay, intrinsically / you can just give the option, intrinsically or objectively is the same. Emptiness of objects being empty. What it says? Essential of the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically or objectively being one with its parts. Then finally, the essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being different from its parts. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Okay, let me repeat it once more. Essential of understanding the object of negation. Number 2, essential of understanding the perversion. Number 3, essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects, emptiness of objects being intrinsically one with its parts. And finally, essential understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Okay, good. Now, what's the first? Hey, what's the first?
Essential of identifying the object of negation.
Essential of identifying the object of negation. Okay. Okay. Now, you tell me. Again, you tell me if the statement that I'm going to make is correct or not correct. You tell me if the statement that I'm going to make is correct or not correct. My statement is that there is no Chugyun in this singing bowl. There's no Chugyun in this singing bowl. Correct or not correct? Correct. Very good. Anyone else? Correct or not correct? There's no Chugyun in this singing bowl. And the Simran said is correct. How many say it's correct? Raise hands. How many say it's not correct? Raise hands. How many say you're not interested? Raise hands. Okay. Arjanaji, what happened? Huh?
What is...
Chicken is very good. Okay. So you have to identify the object of negation. When you say emptiness of objective existence, what do you negate? Emptiness of objective existence, what do you negate? Okay, I don't have a car, what do you negate? Car, I having a car is negated. You're getting it? So there's no objective car. What is negated? Objective car is negated. This is known as the to know what to negate. To negate something, you have to know what you are negating. If you don't know what you're negating, you cannot negate it. Likewise, to say that Chugyung Tingizing is not in this ball, you have to know what is Chugyung Tingizing. If you don't know this, you cannot say it exists or not exists. You cannot negate it, you cannot pass it. You agree? Okay, good. Chugyung Tingizing is, say, due to when you become a bodhisattva on the third level, the first level, what's the first part of the bodhisattva? Part of the accumulation. Part of the accumulation, within that there are three of them, small, middle and great. When you reach the grade of the part of the accumulation, you acquire one's meditative power, meditative concentration known as Chugyun Tingizin, which meaning that you get the power of a photographic memory. Or whatever you learn, you can remember them. You get a photographic memory. You read like volumes of volumes, all these texts of Dale. You read all these texts. Say if you can read like in 1 month, if you can read 100 volumes, you have a vivid memory of what you've read. Vivid memory, what have you learned? So this is the power of the meditative concentration known as Chugyun Tingizin. Okay. Literally, it can be translated as the Chugyun Tingizin. Say the meditative concentration to hold the continuum of the Dharma. Dharma meaning whatever you have learned. The whole continuum you can maintain. You can maintain it without forgetting it. Okay, so In other words, what I'm saying is that to negate something, you have to know what you are negating. You agree? Good. So in the context of emptiness, what is negated? Objective existence is negated. Say, the flower does not exist objectively. What is negated? Simran? Objective existence of the flower is negated. So to negate objective flower, you have to know what exactly it means by objective existence. Okay, anyone tell me, what do you mean by objective existence?
That it exists from its own side.
Very good, very good. Say something. So the last 3 days, yes, Arjanaji?
Has its intrinsic existence, right?
Something having intrinsic existence. Okay, look, I can see that both of them, they're speaking from what they feel. You're getting it, what they've learned. And now they're speaking. That is so precious. So something intrinsic, something existing objectively from his own side. Very good. Anyone else?
Independently or self-characterized?
Something existing independently, something existing as self-characterized. Very good. Anyone else?
Something existing by virtue of its own essence.
Something existing by virtue of its own essence, nothing to do with your mind, but from its own essence. Very good.
Something found through automatic analysis.
Okay, she made it very complicated. Very good. You have the power to make it complicated. You have the power to confuse me. Thank you. Okay, something which is found by the ultimate analysis. Okay, that is are you sure? Only if you say you're sure, I will put you the next question. Wow. She likes challenge. Okay, let's say emptiness. Okay, saying the emptiness of flower is found by the ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Very good. So emptiness, is it the objectively real? According to you, it should be, because it is found by the ultimate analysis. Okay, good. Anyone else? What does it mean by objective existence to you? Hirosha?
Something not posited by mere mental.
Say it again.
Something not posited by mere mental.
Okay, something existent not posited by your mental imputation. So mind has nothing to do to posit it. You remove the mind and still it exists. That is not objective. Very good. I'm very impressed. Okay, let's listen to Chandra. You want to say something? Okay. Min? Something which exists substantially. Are you sure? Only if you say sure, I'll ask the next question. Are you sure? Okay, let's say non-compassive space. Something which exists substantially. Okay, the flower, is it objectively existent? Okay, just say yes, no. Flower, does it exist objectively? Okay, according to you, it should, because it has a substantial existence. You agree? Yes. It is substance or no? It is substance. So it has a substantial existence, yes? So therefore it is objectively real. According to you, objective existence means something which has a substance. So therefore this is objectively real. Because it has substantial existence. So what is this? I don't know what you say. You give up? Okay, so now you want to add on side. From his own side. Okay, that's good. So something having substance from his own side, that is known as objective existence. So what you say? Okay, I don't want to put the next question which will complicate you more. So for the time being, let's say I agree with you. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
Something which exists independent of the subject.
Something which exists independent of the subject, objective, subjective, independent of subject. Remove the subject, then only object is left. It should exist from the object. Very good. Okay, William.
Shall the object have its own characteristics?
Object having its own characteristics. The flower, does it exist objectively?
Not doesn't exist objectively.
My question is, does it exist objectively? No. According to you, it should be because it has its own characteristics. You agree? Don't agree?
Yes.
It has its own characteristics. So therefore it exists objectively.
To the conventional.
So conventionally it exists objectively. Hey, conventionally it exists objectively. Nothing exists objectively at any level. Conventional, ultimate, nowhere. Okay. Okay, so Mithri, what would you say? Objective existence. What do you understand by objective existence?
That something exists as it is.
Something exists as it is. What do you mean by as it is?
Without mind.
Okay, without inclusion, without the power of the mind. You remove the mind, it exists as it is. Okay, there.
Nothing to add.
Same as what she said.
I don't know what is as it is.
Okay, they say, how about what this young man said? Ashwin, say it again.
Something which exists independent of the subject.
Something which exists independent of the subject. You agree? Very good. Okay, as it is, I'm a little confused. No, I was confused with as it is, and she is also confused. Two of us are confused. Because what you said is very heavy loaded.
As it is.
Yes. So what is it? What does it mean?
Independent of the subject.
Okay, it means independent of the subject. Independent subject. You agree? Okay, I also agree. Jack, you want to add something?
I'm running out of ways to say objective existence.
What do you understand by objective existence?
Something that exists independently.
Something which exists independently. Okay. This is independent of the cause, independent of the causes conditions, or
other phenomena independent of mind.
Okay. So if you add independent of mind, that is very good. Otherwise, independent of causes and conditions, many people say independent of the causes and conditions. That's very gross, is not the full import, understanding of the object. Okay, very good. So now we have identified object negation to some extent. This is a very important journey. We have to keep exploring. Don't feel complacent with whatever we said. For the time being, because of this, the momentum that we've created over the 3 days, we're able to say something very meaningful. Just keep exploring this, keep studying this, and your understanding will become deeper and deeper. Okay, what is next? Essential understanding the pervasion. So so this is where Tenzin Ramdullah is confused. Yes? Why are you confused?
Because usually it's like the provision of the
The pervasion comes in the last. But here, something is special. So give me a second. Okay. Why I deliberately said it second here is for the reason that the scholars, different scholars, they have different points of way how they delineate these 4 points. Some identify the provision, the last, others put it the second. And in both cases, there's a reason there. And if you put it second, is that if things do exist objectively, there are only 2 possibilities. So pervasion, which means if things do exist objectively, the pervasion is that it should either exist as intrinsically one or intrinsically different from its parts. You getting it? So this is the understanding. With this in mind, let's say that particularly for the sake of the newcomers, If somebody tells me that, okay, you have taken my Rolex watch, it is in your hand right now. How many hands I have? Only 2 hands. So I said, no, I've not taken your Rolex watch. He said, yes, you have taken it and it is in your hand right now. So what I do is, look, if it is in my hand, do you agree with me? If it is in my hand right now, there are only 2 possibilities. Yes? Okay. First I open one of the hands, right hand, is empty, but it may be on the other hand. So I open the second hand, is also empty, which means I prove that the person's acquisition is faulty. You getting it? Okay, so if things exist objectively, just as if I have taken the Rolex watch in my hand, then it should be either in my right hand or in my left hand. These are the 2 only options. Likewise, if things exist, if the flower exists objectively, there are only 2 ways by which to exist objectively. Either, say, first of all, to see whether the flower exists objectively or not, which of the 2 minds is to be used? Mind of the group A or group B? Huh? Group B, how?
You're seeing if it exists subjectively or not, so you need ultimate analysis.
Amazing, thank you. Amazing. So, to see things as objective or not, conventional analysis cannot decide at all. It must be decided by ultimate analysis. Whereas, if the thing exists or not, the flower exists or not, which mind decides? Conventional analysis decides. So now, at the moment, we are trying to check if the flower exists objectively or not. So which of the 2 minds should be used? Ultimate analysis should be used. So using the ultimate analysis, we see that, how do we do? How do we employ the ultimate analysis? By going closer to the object. Going closer to the object. Going close to the object, we end up seeing the atoms of the flower. Flower disappears. You getting it? Okay. Now what do you end up seeing? You end up seeing the atoms. So either the atom should be the flower, if the flower does exist objectively, either the atom should be the flower, or remove the atoms. Atoms are the parts of the flower or not? Atoms are the parts of the flower. So either the parts of the flower should be the flower, or remove the parts, it should be different from the parts. Remove the atoms, what is left? Nothing is left. So therefore, if these 2 possibilities are ruled out, in a way what you're saying is that objective existence of the flower is negated, rejected. Do you agree? Okay, so now with this, what is number 3? Number 2 is the provision. Provision meaning that if the flower does exist objectively, the provision means that it should necessarily be. Provision has a connotation, necessarily be. For example, if somebody is a human being, it should be necessarily either male or non-male. You agree? You agree or no? Huh? Jack did not hear what I said. You getting it? Jack did not hear what I said. He just presupposed. I did not say male and female. And he thought I said male and female. You get what did I say? Male or non-male. And he did not hear that.
No, I just hear anything related to gender and I get out of it.
But you had responded. Okay, so basic. Okay, so let me take this aside. I say if something is an object, either it should be a flower, it should be non-flower. You agree? Huh? If something exists as an object, it should be either flower or it should be non-flower. You agree? Good. So these are the only 2 options. If what you think is an object is not a flower, no, it is non-flower, means it is non-existent. You agree? Very good. Okay. So with this in mind, if the flower does exist objectively, there are only 2 possibilities. Subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, you end up seeing the atoms. Either the atoms which are the parts of the flower, either the atoms should be the flower, or different atoms. For example, let's say in one room, let's say that, in one room, let's say there are only two people. Let's say Joshua and Carl Tenzi Sherbla. Right? Only two people are there. And then somebody says that Trump went into that house. When Trump is in the house. Right? And you say, no, there's no Trump. And then the person insists, no, he's in this house, in this room. Then you first bring Carl. Is this Trump? If there's a Trump there, either Carl should be Trump or Joshua should be Trump. You agree? If Trump is there, because there are only two people there, either Joshua should be Trump or Carl should be Trump. And if you prove that Carl is not a Trump, Joshua is not a Trump, it means there's no Trump. You reject the presence of Trump in the room. Likewise, so what do you end up seeing with the ultimate analysis? You end up, Carl is not too happy. He's still in the transition state. Okay, so what I'm saying is that either saying that the subjective flower ultimate analysis, what did you end up seeing? You end up seeing the atoms. So atoms are the parts of the flower. So either the flower should be intrinsically one with the parts, meaning the parts should be the flower. Are the parts atoms of the flower? Atoms of the flower?
Are the parts atoms of the flower?
The parts of the flower, which are the atoms, are they flower? No, because the flower is beautiful, atoms are not beautiful. Okay, so now if the atoms are not the flower, what is the second alternative? Different from the atoms. Remove the atoms to see if there's a flower different from the atoms. Remove the atoms, what is left? Nothing is left. Nothing is left. So therefore, both alternatives are proven to be wrong. Therefore, what is the conclusion? That in the eyes of ultimate analysis, the flower is empty, which means flower is empty objectively. How many got it? Minimum 20%. Raise hands. Very happy. I did not say 80%. Okay, 20%. Okay. So minimum 50%. How many understood it? Raise hands. At least intellectually. Very good. Okay. Now, if you meditate on this, for example, yourself, I say, don't try to think of how the self is conceived by the different belief systems. Think of yourself as how you see yourself in general, as it is. Right? Okay. Think of yourself as it is, not in a philosophical sense. Okay, I am Dorji. I'm Dorji. What do you conceive? What do you see of yourself as normal? Okay, I am not the. Okay, I'm enjoying this place. Very beautiful, green and cool. Very beautiful. So just see yourself as it is. You're getting it? See yourself as it is. Don't try to philosophize. Which is the self and so forth. Now, this self. How does it appear? How does it appear? Objectively or subjectively? Tell me. How does this self, who you identified as I, exist? How does it appear to exist? Objectively or subjectively? Maitri. Objectively?
From objective, it goes to subjective.
Say, for example, when you think of Tenzi Choyang, how does this self, the person known as Tenzi Choyang, appear to you? As objectively real or subjectively real?
Subjective. But it starts from observing myself first as the objective body.
Oh, yes.
Then it is going deeper.
Okay.
First objectively, but then.
Okay, let's say Tenzi Choyang, let's say that there's no breakfast for Tenzi Choyang, right? Then why? Right? When you say why, a very strong sense of I comes, objective I comes back. You're getting it? How many agree with me? Raise hands. Right? Instantly. Okay, so this sense of I, how does this sense of I appear to you? As objectively real or subjectively real? As objectively real. Okay, now if the self does exist objectively, it should be seen by which of the two analyses? Ultimate analysis. So now we have to subject the self to ultimate analysis. How do you subject the self to ultimate analysis? Anyone? How do you subject self to ultimate analysis? By going closer to the object. You're getting it? By going closer to the object. Okay. Going closer to the object, what do you see? You end up seeing 6 elements. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. Let us work on this. Just close your eyes and think of the self. Think of the self. Just imagine that somebody tells you, you're stupid, and then you become so angry, and then say the sense of I becomes very strong, sense of I comes to you. And how does this I appear to you? To this mind, so object real. Okay, now if this self, the person who you identify as I, if this person were to exist objectively, then it must be seen by the ultimate analysis. So let us see if this can be seen by ultimate analysis. So let us subject this self to ultimate analysis. How to subject it to ultimate analysis? By going closer to this person. Okay. Going closer towards this person, just see if you can follow this instruction. Going closer towards this person who you identify as I, you first see a very thin layer of the skin. Of course, that is not me. You're looking for this objectively existing self. It's just thin layer of the skin. And behind that, the fatty tissues. Of course, that is also not me. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, and the whole skeleton. Heart, the lungs, the liver, pancreas, and so forth. All these solid parts constitute the element of earth. And the element of earth is not to be identified as intrinsically as I, meaning objectively as I. Good. Element of water, 4 liters of blood that your heart pumps in and out to different parts of the body. Of course, that is also not to be identified as intrinsically as the person, as I. Element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy. Of course, that is not me. People can see me. From distance, people cannot see the body heat. Body heat is the element of fire. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. There is also not this self. Objectively speaking, is not the self. Okay, element of space. 99.99% of the body is vacuum. But I'm not a vacuum, I'm a solid person, and space is vacuum in nature. Even this element of space is also not me. What is left now? Element of consciousness or element of mind, the thinking capacity, the thinking feature of within me. Okay, I'm happy, I'm not happy, and so forth. People can see me from distance, but people cannot see my mind. And also, I'm a male, I'm a non-male, I'm a female, I'm a non-female. But this mind does not have a gender. It is gender neutral. So this mind is also not this self. Okay, now we see that if the self does exist objectively, in the eyes of ultimate analysis, you end up seeing the 6 elements. And let us see if this self is intrinsically one with the 6 elements. Which of the 6 elements is to be identified as you, I? Where is it? None. If none, see if the self does exist objectively as different from these 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements. What happens? Nothing is left there as a self. What do you deduce? You conclude that the self is empty objectively. Okay, self disappears. Stay in this experience for a while. Now you so well know that when the self disappears, it doesn't mean the self is not existent. It simply means the self is empty of objective existence. Because this mind is the ultimate analysis, and the ultimate analysis does not decide if the self exists or not. Whether or not self exists is decided by conventional analysis. Okay. Slowly come out. Come out of this practice. This practice, okay, good. Come out. Come out. If you can do this practice on a daily basis, take a dose of this practice on a daily basis, and you feel that the self actually dissolves in that experience. And in some cases, I'll say a tinge of a fear can come. If this comes, don't worry. This is a very good indication, because this is a clash happening between your new perception of the self, the emptiness of the self, with the chronic disease of believing the self is absolutely real. There's a clash there. And gradually this fear will be replaced by incredible joy, incredible peace, which we have never experienced before. One. For some people, they can be like goosebumps coming in a body. For some people, like a cold wave flowing through a body. For some people, extremely profound, tranquil, serene feeling can come from the core of your heart. These different experiences are being shared by the enlightened masters, great teachers. So if you do get these experiences, you are very fortunate, but don't remain complacent. So at times, because of the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you can get these experiences once in a while. And you continue this meditation, and then sometimes you can become very mechanical. You may be able to follow steps, but no feeling coming. So as much as how you initially experience. And continue with your studies, expand your studies, contemplation, meditation over time. Then this experience will become more and more stable. Okay, this says, and if you do this on a daily basis, and later on supported by more extensive studies, you see that your emotions, on the surface, it may remain much more the same. But just from the core of your being, there's going to be a transformation taking place within you. And of course, when you're able to see emptiness directly, of course, then the power is so much that emotions, the destructive emotions, they can easily be smashed by this. Okay, this is the wisdom of emptiness. So now, from tomorrow, we'll have the text. Okay. And at 6 o'clock, we have the next class, which is the Nalanda diploma course. And those from the NDC Nalanda diploma course, of course, you can come. And even those who are not registered to this course, if you're interested, you can come. We're talking about the tennis system. We're studying the tennis system at the moment. We are on the verge to, I think we are going to start the South Toronto School tennis system, which interesting. What is composite, non-composite, positive, negative, all these things will be discussed in this South Toronto School tennis system. If you're interested, join us. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll start okay. Any questions? One or two questions you have? Yes.
Ishina, is seeing dependent origination the same as seeing the law of cause and effect? Or is that just part of it?
Okay, dependent origin, there are 3 levels. There are 3 levels, is a part of it. Any more questions? Yes.
Is there a difference between self-grasping ignorance and elaboration of self-grasping ignorance?
Same. When I say same, your job is, then why this word elaboration is added? You're getting it? You have to explore. You since that you did not ask me, I asked, so the seniors, they know the rule. What's the rule?
If you ask the question, then you won't get it.
If you make me to ask the question, then don't expect answer from me. Right? So therefore I ask you why this word elaboration is added then. This is my question. You don't get the answer from me. Okay, yes.
During the meditation, after I negate the consciousness as being the self, and the mind becomes very quiet, then what to do after that?
Say it again.
So when I do the emptiness meditation practice, so the 6th element, the consciousness, I negate this as being the self. Then
Okay, when you meditate emptiness of the self, 6 elements, then?
The final element, consciousness.
Okay.
This is also not the self.
Yes.
But then the mind becomes very quiet. So what to do after?
Oh, quiet is very good. Quiet, no anger, no attachment. This is purpose. And then you don't stay in the ultimate analysis all the time. from they switch to the conventional analysis. But the self does exist subjectively. You getting it? So that this self which exists subjectively doesn't want miseries, wants happiness. So because it doesn't want miseries, don't engage in harmful actions. Because it wants happiness, engage in compassionate actions. So dependent origination. Yes. Yes.
And then, so if I go back to the conventional analysis, what allows you to have the glimpse?
What allows you to have the glimpse? Glimpse of? With the ultimate, with the conventional analysis? No. You said you switched to the conventional analysis. Then? Again, we switch to conventional, again go back to ultimate analysis? Then?
I don't know, I'm asking you. So when I go back to the ultimate analysis...
She's smart. She's telling me that you're not asking me. I'm asking you. Okay, what's your question?
So I guess I'm stuck.
Stuck where?
When I negate the consciousness, the mind is very quiet.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what to do after that.
Okay, so basically the idea is that mind is very quiet. So the mind, for example, when you sleep, the mind becomes very loose. Object, generally speaking, for example, say when you love this, or when you love the mobile, when you love somebody, your mind is so intensely grabbing at it. Your mind is intensely grabbing. In the dream, in the sleep, then the mind becomes loose. So likewise, when you say my mind becomes quiet, when you say that, it can mean two ways. One is that the emotions, destructive emotions come down, disturbing emotions comes down, discursive thoughts come down, so it becomes very quiet. It's very positive. Now another one is very quiet in the context of being the passive. The mind becomes very passive. That is not the advisable. So make sure that okay, Joshua, come very quick. Don't say anything. Okay, just see what I'm doing. What I'm doing? I'm holding Joshua's hand, right? Joshua's hand. And you see if there's any difference. A and B. Is there any difference? A and B. Difference? No difference. Now ask him, is there a difference? Ask him.
Was there a difference?
Is there a difference?
In B, he's holding my hand tighter.
A is loose, B is tight. You're getting it? So the two look very similar to the outside person, but to him there's a difference. Likewise, this is how our mind behaves. So when you quiet, there are two ways where the mind is actively seeing emptiness. It's actively holding the hand versus relax. Relax meaning that is loose. So actively seeing emptiness, the mind can become very quiet. And the object, you become very loose mind, again become quiet. To become loose and become quiet is not positive, it's not good. Whereas see emptiness, actively see the emptiness. And then mind becomes quiet. This is so precious. You're getting it? You want to see what, you want to do this experiment? You want to see? Huh? You understood it?
But I'm not sure how to tell the difference.
So, okay, study more. Study more. And the fact that you notice something in you, that is, you have been very observant, is very precious. Study more. And if you have questions, let me know. Keep sending me messages. Any more questions? Okay. If not, then we'll do the end prayer. Page 52. Page 52. I dedicate the marriage thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. Man, all lives through the force of this marriage, never separated from the 4 wheels of the mind and the vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, Buddha Shakmana mantra. You have the handout? Good. Tage tuje shage reso chon shenge meto dege bonjamba serge Segilhum bo tabo jebe bo shage gebo kela chaselu om moni moni mahamona eswaha 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 om moni moni mahamona eswaha. Okay, 3 processions together.